Greetings, everybody out there in the wide world of YouTube. It is I, Triple O Firestorm. Today I am joined by my co-host for the first time. No, it's not John. John is not here. He is currently somewhere, probably at work, maybe. Yes, I'm not at work. I have the day off. Awesome. I want to say hello to everybody. This is Toffe, Pussycat. Say hello to everybody out there, Toffe. There she is. Here's Toffe. Hello. Yeah. Toffe is probably the oldest cat we have. Yeah. We've had her for 17 years now, I believe. You're a bit of a grumpy thing, aren't you, sometimes, but we love you. Anyway, this entire little video I'm doing today is really just a thoughts video, to be perfectly honest. I just want to get my thoughts out there on a film that I saw recently, probably a couple of days ago, called Devil's Due. Now, for anybody out there who may listen to the podcast I sometimes do with John, other way around actually, it's John's podcast, I sometimes am involved, but anyway. Devil's Due was another found footage demon possession film, which we've been seeing a lot of in the last couple of years, especially since Paranormal Activity first appeared. And as always, Devil's Due, in my opinion, was a giant waste of time. Let's just hit it off right off from the bat, just to begin with. As always, it has the biggest cliche of these found footage films. Nothing happens until the last 15-20 minutes of the film. So for the first hour, I'd say hour and 10, you're pretty much bored because nothing's happening. But it follows a usual plot. Boyfriend somehow manages to afford extremely expensive camera kit. And I'm not talking something like a mobile phone or a, I don't know, £70 digital camera you may have bought off eBay, or £100 one off Argos or whatever. I'm talking the big things that probably cost about 50 to 60 grand. Somehow he has the money to buy one of these. He also has the money to buy some seriously advanced hidden camera stuff. No really no really explanation as to how he can afford it, but he can. So, as always, he'll follow the girlfriend around, he'll record everything, nothing really happens for the first 20 minutes. And then it'll be the usual stuff. They're in a honeymoon, they somehow get lost, which doesn't really make any sense, despite the fact they're in this tourist area of this city, and they somehow get lost. And they somehow end up in a city when there's no street signs, for some strange reason. There's no significant markers, no street signs, so as far as they're aware, they're completely lost. And it's the early hours of the morning, and somehow they've wandered away from the main tourist area. Now, upon coming across a mysterious taxi man, well, not much really happens, as always. It's a mysterious taxi man, and he simply says, "Oh, you're lost, do you want a ride?" And there is dubious as to whether or not this guy really is a taxi person, but they jump in the cab anyway. Now, he starts to take them back to the hotel, but then he suggests, how about I take you outside the city to this little joint I know about. Now, any normal person in the early hours of the morning, after just finding this cab mysteriously, would then probably think, the cat is getting angry. Alright, go on. Say bye-bye. Yep, she's cross, as always. Off you go to the bed. Go on. Right, anyway, as I was saying, they're in the cab taxi thing, and he decides to go drive into this party place. At first, the girlfriend don't like the idea of it, but the boyfriend, as always, likes the idea of saying yes to this stranger. Do drive us out somewhere strange. We don't know where you're going to take us. For all we know, it might be a setup and you might try and rob us. But anyway, they go to this little underground place and this club. And then after a while, the drinks naturally are spiked, and the girlfriend, who has put the camera in her bag, you catch her basically unconscious, and this weird ritual is performed on her, which later basically turns out that it is the thing that puts the Antichrist inside her. And anyway, as usual, gets home, nothing really happens, apart from somehow a group of people manage to get a spare key to the house, go into the house, put a load of hidden cameras around the house, and then spend the next 9 months watching them without these hidden cameras ever being found, despite some of them aren't really hidden, they're in obvious locations. Like, one is actually in the corner of one of the main bedrooms. How they do not see it, I don't know. And it follows the same route. The boyfriend gets suspicious. He eventually finds out what's going on. But, to make matters even stranger, there's like a point in the film where you've some unknown reason and there's no explanation as to how this footage gets into the film. This is meant to be a found footage film, and there's no explanation as to how this piece of footage is even there. But all of a sudden, you are in this woodland with these 3 teenagers. They're obviously using some sort of camcorder, and they find the body of a deer. They then find the boyfriend's girlfriend, aka like the main character lass, in the forest cutting up this deer and apparently eating its internal organs. She then goes all devilly possessed on them and uses the power of the Force to throw them up into the air and kill them all. This scene doesn't even need to be in the film. There isn't really any need for it. It doesn't make any sense and it's never explained. Now after that happens, you get to the final point of the story, really, where the girlfriend's fully possessed by the evil baby demon inside of her. She kills one of her best friends. Boyfriend comes home. For some strange reason, the cult that did this ritual that put the Antichrist inside of her are all standing outside the house and don't make a move to stop the boyfriend going into the house. That, again, makes no sense. You've got all these guys from this evil cult and all they're going to do is stand there in the rain and don't try and stop the boyfriend from interfering with the birth. He goes into the house, the girlfriend's screaming, giving birth, the entire house is being smashed by demonic forces. Boyfriend finds body of his wife, girlfriend's best friend who is now dead. Then all of a sudden there's glowy symbols, girlfriend performs a self-cesarean on herself. The cultist people appear, take the Antichrist baby and leave. Then the boyfriend ends up in police custody, and that's pretty much the end of the film. Now that I've pretty much described Devil's Due in the space of a few minutes, you can probably understand there ain't much to the story. It's very much like the Paranormal Activity films, whereas the Paranormal Activity films are pretty good when it comes to the effects. When it comes to story and the whole concept of the story, they really don't make any sense. Now, in regards to found footage films, they're not really going anywhere. Bit of a shout out now to Mr. George Daniel Lee. Strange Playground, your book. I have read it. It is awesome. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you've got any more planned, George, but really, really good. Okay, obviously I'm talking about George, aka Accelerated Elegy. Thumbs up to the man. If that was turned into a film, it would be fantastic. George, you'd need to direct it, or at least produce it, or at least be involved in some way to make it right. But anyway, Strange Playgrounds, I loved it. Yeah, here's my copy, just to show you all again. Let me get there, yeah. Fantastic, I absolutely enjoyed reading it. Been a while since I've read a horror book that really perked my curiosity and attention. So anyway, well done, George. Good read. I enjoyed reading it. Hopefully I'll read more from you in the future. Anyway, so that's really, I think, me done for now. I've ranted and raved about Devil's Due and found footage films. Obviously giving some praise to George and his awesome book. Just a quick bit of niggly bit of information for you all. At some point I'm going to do a review on this RC figure. Most likely in the next few days. Maybe when I'm off next, which will probably be Sunday. So anyway, this has been Triple O Firestorm, doing a random little review thing. My pussycat's gone now, so she can't say goodbye, but that happens. So peace out to you all, have a good afternoon, and I'll see you all shortly.